I'm Jordan Belfort, and this is Sales School. I want the 75-inch to be, not the 50. I want that ribeye, not the sirloin. I'm going first class in business and never coach. Simply, there are certain times when paying a little bit more is worth it. Just like there's a huge difference between that stretched out sadness in your drawers and Tommy John underwear. When you're wearing Tommy John underwear, you're that much more comfortable. So you can do everything, and I mean everything, better. Listen, I wear Tommy Johns and you should too. Returns and exchanges are free, and right now you get 15% off your first order at TommyJohn.com/school. That's 15% off Tommy John underwear and loungewear at TommyJohn.com/school. One more time, TommyJohn.com/school. See their site for details. When these guys said to me, oh, there's so many objections, we can't even get our pitch off. So watch, there's so many objections, there's thousands of objections. Okay, fair enough, right? So that triggered me to start, really, there's that many objections, great. Let's write them all down. And the reason I said that to them that night was because what I was intending to do was I was gonna write them all down, and then I was gonna do this, one by one, bam, bam. I was gonna go and I used to get in a roll where I just give me any objection, I'll just bam, I'll show you how I plow through it, right? And that was my intent. So I was gonna have them write down, all these objections, and I really had never thought about how many there were at that point in my life. I was, in my early 20s, right? Just write them all down, and I was gonna go on a fucking 30, 40-minute roll, rapid fire overcoming objections, right? But the second thing they said had stuck in my craw a bit, meaning we can't even get our pitches off. So what they're saying is there's so many objections. All right, fine, fair enough. We can't get our pitches off. Independent thoughts. Why? Because here's the deal. When do you typically get hit with objections? After you ask for the order, right? Think about it. Why would someone hit you with an objection before you even ask them to buy something? Except in the first moment that you basically, hi, John, reason for the call, I'm too busy, sorry, that's an objection, right? I don't have time right now, okay? But with real objections, common objections, you get hit with them after you say, here's what I'd like you to do, pick up 10,000 shares, or buy this car, or buy this insurance policy, or this is the TV I think you should own, this first, doesn't matter what you're selling, right? You get hit with that first objection when you say, here's what I'd like you to do, sign the contract, and they say, it sounds good, Jordan, let me think about it. That's basic logic. Yet my guys had said that we can't get our presentations off because we're getting hit with objections all along the way. And I was like, what? I was like, just think about that. And I was like, wait a second, I never get hit with objections. In other words, once I was on that phone and I took control of the conversation, and I didn't even think of it like that back before that night. I was just, I just went on the phone and was being me. I was being, I was just being awesome on the phone. I never thought what was happening, right? But because of that, right, I was essentially it wasn't like I was taking control. So look at it differently. I was being handed control. They were ceding control to me because we've been taught since we're yay big that when we're in the position of experts, figures of authority, we defer, we listen, we don't interrupt. From our teachers who stood before us in school, to the doctors who helped us get better, to the lawyers we met later on in life, and everyone in between. Even to the police officer, okay, a figure of authority, right? You defer. Right? And by the way, and you'll say, well, yeah, of course you defer to a police officer, Jordan. He's got a gun. If you don't defer, he'll shoot you or at least throw you in jail. But that's not entirely true, is it? See, authority is perceived. Let me give you an example. You ever go to like a shopping mall and you have one of these fucking toy cops, like a rent-a-cop, right? They're not real cops, right? But they got a badge and they have like, a little flashlight. And, if you do, they'll say, excuse me, you need to move your car. And you're in the park, So what do? You move your car. Why? Not because, he's a toy cop, the guy, but you still comply because you're like, he's a figure of authority, he's got a badge, he's got a uniform, and that hits a spot in us, a pattern. We say, figure of authority, defer, listen, follow instructions. You get it? So that's why we'll defer to perceived figures of authority. So police officer, yeah, will lock you up and shoot you, but no, even someone that's just a security guard, the point is that we defer no matter what because it's based on the perception of authority.